Oh, hi everybody. As you can see, I've got a girl with a tail wrapped round her substrate. That's Sia's trademark, I think, these days when I'm getting her out of her enclosure. She grabs a tail full of substrate. I guess it makes her feel quite secure doing that. But yeah, time for Sia instead of Tessa. So you will have seen a little video of me getting Tessa, well, I didn't try, I did get Tessa out, and you could see that she's okay in coming out, and that hook is becoming less of something that I'm needing to use with her now, which is fabulous. She's ready to shed, of course, so I'm not bringing her outside. Sia, I had her outside probably, well, last week, so it's been a week, so it was last weekend, and I wasn't really happy with the footage in terms of how this camera was working outside. The quality, the colour, everything was just completely off. I don't know what went on, but hopefully this video will be a lot better. Well, I hope anyway. And the last time that I had Sia out, I spoke and touched upon UV for your snakes. And, you know, I do know that many say that it's not important, that snakes don't really need it and will thrive and do quite well without UV. And you know, for years people have kept snakes without them having any UV. We do know that out in the wild our snakes utilise the sun. Of course, there she is poking her little head up over there. So most of our barred tail is under the blanket. But yes, you know, our snakes have survived and done quite well without UV. And yes, they have, absolutely. And you know, snakes in the wild do come out and go out in the sun, and they do that to warm up. But they also do it, and not knowing to themselves, I guess, that they are getting vitamin D, which we, even as humans, need to have in our bodies. Otherwise our bones wouldn't be as good as what they would and should be. So I think a little bit of that goes for snakes. The sunshine also encourages them to come out and bask. And are you going to come out at all? I don't think that you actually are, Sia, and we can't kind of see you, sweetie. So I'll just move that just a little bit so we can see a little bit more of you, doll, because you're a very beautiful girl. Yeah, so UV. Diamond pythons do have problems with their bones. A particular, I don't, you know, I've read a little bit about it, but a deficiency and can cause them problems. And so I made a choice to put UV into Sia's enclosure. Now, I didn't do it initially. I was thinking about it, and the more I read up and heard a few other people talking about UV, and not just for diamond pythons, but for all our pythons, I sort of thought to myself, yeah, and to be honest, I have used UV in my younger snakes enclosures right from the very start. Only 2.0, very, smaller enclosure. You don't want the UV level to be too high, so 2.0. But for Sia, and her enclosure is closer to that 1400 in length and 600 by 600. She has a 5.0 in hers. She has plenty of area to get away from the UV. She also has her hides in there to go and hide in, but I felt it was more essential for Sia as a diamond python to have UV. Now, what I've also noticed with having UV is she comes out of her hides and goes up under the UV. Not a heat, it is she comes out when that UV light goes on, and appears to be, I didn't see your head poking up there. I didn't. No, you're doing that very slowly and whatever. What can you see? Can you see yourself in that lens? But yeah, I've just noticed her being a lot more active and a lot more responsive when that UV is on. So I do think it makes a little bit of difference. Now, if you have snakes like me that you bring outside regularly and they're getting UV just by being outside, then having UV, well, no, it wouldn't be what I consider to be something that you should think about doing. But if you have snakes that never ever see the sunlight, may I suggest you look into UV and see what you think, because I think it would do more good than harm. On average, your smaller enclosures, certainly a 2.0 is all that you need, but when you're getting up into the bigger enclosures, you're going to need 5.0 and above. But yeah, just something to think about. Go and research it. More and more people are starting to think that it is a good thing for their snakes to have. And I know another person, Sarah, who has decided to use UV and has noticed a difference in activity levels from her snakes when the UV is going. Now, I only have Sia's UV on for 4 hours during the day. That's it. And then I turn it off. They don't need it on from morning till night. So, but they need some hours of it, and 4 would be more than enough. Even 3 hours, even 2 hours of it would be enough for them. So yeah, especially your diamonds. Summertime, Sia could pretty much live outside here in Queensland. If I had an outdoor setup for her, which may be something I can think about you know, where to put it and where the best place would be, where she would be safe, that nothing could get to her, and she certainly wouldn't be able to get out. But they do recommend that diamond pythons can be outdoors. If you live in an area where the climate is, of course, applicable for them to be able to do that. You certainly couldn't do it in the state of Victoria. It gets way too cold. But up here we do have a time frame that would suit Sia being outside, outdoors. So, you know, in the meantime, she has UV in her enclosure, and she also has the availability to come on outside and get the natural sunlight on her as well. So apart from that, Sia is doing very well. She, you know, got that RI when she first came to me, and was not well for a while, but has certainly, yeah, come out of that. And she can be quite a feisty girl, I tell you, when I'm outside. And she's okay, and then you can just see that nose poking out again there. She's okay the first time that I move her back from somewhere, and she's not too bad the second time that I move her back and say, no, you're not going there. And by the third time, she faces off with me, and she spins around, and she's telling me, go on, you move me again. And the little that she is, I will move her and she will come after me. She will turn around and she will come after me. I'm the one that moves backwards. Yep, she's got a bit of a little temper on her, this one, if she's not being allowed to do what it is that Sia wants to do. Yeah, she's telling me, I tell you. So, but anyway, she's been a good girl today, but then I'm letting her be, aren't I? And do what she wants to. She'll be fine when I go to actually pick her up and, you know, take her inside. It's when I'm out here and, yeah, she's heading in a direction and I go, no, you're not going there. And she starts to throw a patty. Well, I just thought I'd put this in of a little bit of Sia actually in the sunshine. She was very much in the shade through the video. So I'll just put this kind of little clip with her doing her little periscope and checking things out with that sun kind of on her. As you can see, they've got the most amazing markings and patterns, diamond pythons, and Sia does have a little bit of yellow to her. She's not the complete black and white, so her dots yeah, have a touch of, I would say, more gold than actually yellow to them. But you know, she's starting to, of course, feel a little bit more comfortable now. And you know, Lily and Jack, the moment they get on out here, a zoom and off they go. Sia, not so much. It just takes her a little bit longer than my other guys who are, you know, very, very used to coming on outside. Sia, of course, doesn't, you know, come crawling over onto me. she still keeps her distance, don't you, darling? But, you know, stays pretty close. But anyway, she's moved back out of the sun. So, yeah, I just thought I'd just grab that little bit of a clip while she's a little bit more on the move than hiding under the blanket as she was. So, anyway guys, you take care of yourself, your family, your friends. Your snakes, no matter whether they throw little patties on you, and all your animals. So, ciao.